Many IELTS candidates think better writing means more complicated writing. So they try to write longer sentences, more advanced vocabulary, more complicated grammar, more formal expressions, and that is exactly where many of them start losing points. Because in IELTS writing, the examiner does not reward writing that sounds ambitious. They reward writing that is clear, correct, and under control. In other words, a simple sentence you control is far better than a complex sentence that falls apart halfway through. And this is not just true for weaker candidates. Even strong IELTS test takers can damage their score when they try to sound more sophisticated than they can actually manage under exam pressure. So in this video, I want to talk about one of the most important ideas in IELTS writing: control. What do I mean when I say control? Control means writing that stays clear, accurate, and consistent under exam pressure. That's it. Not fancy writing, not impressive. Clear, accurate, and consistent. And this matters because IELTS writing is not the place to show off the full range of your English. It is the place to communicate clearly in limited time without losing control of your grammar, your vocabulary, your tone, or your structure. This is where many people misunderstand the game. They think higher band writing means only bigger words, longer sentences, and more complicated grammar, which is true, but only if you can control them. A complex sentence with grammar mistakes does not sound advanced. A fancy word which is slightly misused does not make your English look strong. And a long paragraph with too many ideas does not look academic. It just feels messy. So the goal in IELTS writing is not complexity first. The real goal is control first. Now let's look at the three biggest signs that your writing is going out of control. The first sign that your writing is out of control is this: your grammar is too ambitious. In simple words, you're trying to write sentences that are too difficult for you in exam condition. Look at this sentence. Although many people believe that technology has made life easier for people in many ways, but it also creates several problems which cannot be ignored. And this is why governments should take serious actions to control it. Now, is this sentence completely terrible? No, but it is clearly out of control. Why? Because the writer is trying to do too much in one sentence. The sentence contains too many ideas. It feels heavy. And there's also a grammar problem. You cannot normally use although and but in the same sentence. So the sentence sounds ambitious, but it's not even grammatically correct. Now look at the controlled version. Many people believe that technology has made life easier while it has also created serious problems. For this reason, governments should take action. Is this version simpler? Yes. Is it better? Yes. Because now the ideas are clear, the grammar is safer, and the sentence does not collapse under its own weight. And this is a very important rule for IELTS writing. If one sentence starts carrying too many ideas, split it. A shorter sentence you control is much better than a long sentence you only half control. The second sign that your writing is out of control is this one. Your vocabulary sounds advanced, but with bad usage. This usually happens when a candidate tries too hard to sound academic. They might think simple words look weak. So they start replacing normal, natural English with words that feel more formal, more impressive, more band nine-ish. Look at this sentence. In my perspective, the juveniles are obligated to participate in physical activities because it is tremendously pivotal for their prosperity. So many advanced words. Juveniles, obligated, tremendously pivotal, prosperity. Nice, eh? Yes, but the sentence does not sound natural. It sounds forced. Why? Because the writer is not choosing words they truly control. Juvenile sounds too formal for this context. Obligated is too strong. Tremendously pivotal is obviously exaggerated. And prosperity is the wrong kind of word for this idea. Now, look at the controlled version. In my opinion, young people should do regular physical activity because it is very important for their health. This is much more natural. And if you want to make it slightly more academic without losing control, you could write, in my opinion, young people should take part in regular physical activity because it is beneficial for their health. That is a good example of controlled vocabulary. Neither basic nor inflated, just natural, clear, and accurate. This is where many candidates make a big mistake. They use words they recognize when reading, but cannot really control when writing. Active knowledge of English and passive knowledge of English are not the same thing. Passive knowledge means you can recognize it when you hear it or read it. Active knowledge means you can actually use it correctly in your own speaking or your writing. So maybe you understand a word or a grammar structure or an expression when someone else uses it, but when it is your turn to speak or write under pressure, you cannot produce it properly because you, like everybody else, have a bigger passive knowledge of English than active. This is even true about your mother tongue. You might use a word in your mother tongue in an awkward way because it's been part of your passive vocabulary. Remember, IELTS speaking and writing test your active English. The listening and reading sections test both your active and your passive knowledge. The third sign that your writing is out of control is a very common problem. Your paragraph does not have one clear job. You start with one idea, then add another, then a small example, then a disadvantage, then a solution. And by the end, the paragraph is doing four jobs badly instead of one job well. Check out this paragraph. There are many reasons why students should study abroad. First, they can learn about new cultures. In addition, they may improve their language skills. However, studying abroad can be expensive and some students may feel lonely. Therefore, governments and universities should do more to encourage it. What's this paragraph trying to do? Is it about the benefits of studying abroad? Is it about the problems? Is it about what universities should do? The paragraph has no clear direction. It feels messy. Now, look at the controlled version, which is neatly about one idea. One major benefit of studying abroad is language development. When students live in another country, they're surrounded by the language in daily life. As a result, they often improve faster than students who only study in the classroom. This paragraph has a clear job. It introduces one main idea, explains it, and develops it. Here is a very useful rule. Each body paragraph should have one main purpose. If your paragraph starts mixing advantages, disadvantages, causes, solutions, and side comments all together, you're probably losing control. So at the word level, at the sentence level, and at the paragraph level, the lesson is the same. Do not push your English beyond what you can manage clearly and confidently. Now, the question is, how do you actually keep your English under control during the exam? You're under time pressure, you're thinking about ideas, grammar, structure, word count, and the clock. So your writing might never feel 100% controlled. But you can increase control a lot by choosing English that already belongs to you. And here are some practical ways to do that. First, keep most of your sentences simple or compound. You do not need every sentence in your essay to be complex. Second, when a sentence starts getting heavy, split it. Avoid writing sentences that are too long. Third, use words that feel natural to you. Do not force advanced synonyms for every common word. And lastly, build a small bank of useful, safe language through practice. Useful verbs, useful nouns, useful collocations, useful sentence structure. Then use them again and again in your essays until they become automatic. This is how control is built, not by chasing more and more language, but by gaining control over the language you already know. Remember, in IELTS writing, the goal is not to write at the edge of your ability. The goal is to write comfortably with control, because the English that gets the score is not the most complicated English. It's the English you can manage clearly, accurately, and consistently. If you want, in the next video, I can show you safe sentence patterns you can actually trust in IELTS writing. Just write in the comments. My name's Ethan. Thanks for watching this lesson, and thanks for your likes and subscribes. Study smart, keep your sentences in control, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.